All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Insurance Tech webinar hosted by Accelerated Automation. I am Lily. I'm the training lead here at Accelerated Automation, stepping in for Mariah. I'm very excited to have our guest today, Casey from Canopy Connect. Casey, you have worked with a lot of agencies that we also work with. You may or may not have seen him online, events, at conferences. So we're very excited to learn more about what you guys do and some of the new updates coming for the new year.
Thank you, Lily. Really, really appreciate y'all having us here today. And, happy holidays to everybody that, took the time to jump on today. Excited to show you what Camp Connect's been up to and also a little present we have for the agents too. We've changed
Ooh.
pricing in the favor of the agent. Most companies are not doing that today. We actually were able to because if you haven't noticed, Camp Connect's been growing a lot.
Hmm.
We actually have a ton more engineers now, and because of that, it'll take a lot of strain off the commercial integrations that we had going. So it was actually able to get costs down on the commercial side. So we're excited to show new pricing. We don't have it on the website, so it's actually like you all are actually the first to actually hear about it, like officially.
Ooh,
So
that is
it's
surprising.
not even live like on the website, the new pricing. So I'm just gonna share that with you here at the end.
Love
But to get back to what is Camp Connect, what does it even do for you? Like why are you even here? Essentially, we save you time. We save you a bunch of time collecting all the data that you need to quote the prospect. Then we save the prospect a bunch of time because we don't really talk about how everything's on their shoulders.
it.
They're
Hmm.
the ones that have to gather all this information for you, from basic info like dates of birth, driver's license numbers to VIN numbers. We can even get the deck pages within seconds for you. Average pull time is 5.6 seconds for us to capture everything. And we're able to take that data and pre-fill it everywhere, especially when you're using, accelerated automation. You can really, really streamline some stuff with the data we get because they take it and put it where you need it to be instantly.
Hmm. So, for those who might not have already heard of Canopy Connect, I'm sure a lot of us have, but we always have new agents coming into the scene. What would be like a high level overview of Canopy if somebody, elevator pitch, if they came in and said, "What the heck do you guys do over there? What is this?" What would you say to them?
I'd say we save you 30 minutes per conversation at a minimum. We take all the back and forth out of the equation. We put the power back in the agent's hand instead of them relying on the consumer to gather all this data, relying on public sources, stuff that's out of date. We get you everything the current carrier has within 5.6 seconds. Declaration pages, full policies, claims, incidents going back 7 years, and we can even go to the county assessor, get you your bill, square footage, and estimator cost.
Hmm. So it's really replacing those paper intake forms. We rewrite all those and we have to look online. So how much time do you think that saves people and what inconveniences are you solving with Canopy?
Essentially, we see a minimum of 30 minutes on just the intake side, just that mundane information collection where we try to build it into a rapport. So we're trying to do both things. We're trying to build rapport
Hmm.
and do our job, which can be a little tough. It's a balancing act. Now
Hmm.
with Camp Connect, you're able to skip all those mundane questions because you're going to have the data right there and you're able to dive right into, hey, Frank, were you aware of? Did you know about? Ooh, looks like that policy is about to be canceled. Things they just have no idea about because you have instant access backstage to their carrier.
And how does that work? How are you connecting and getting all of that information for those current policies?
Great question. We create you a custom link. You send the link to the consumer. All they need to know is what carrier they have. They select a carrier, pop in their username and password that they use with that carrier for online bill pay, hit submit,
Hmm.
and that's it. They're done. And if you're on the phone with them, no reason to get off the phone because you're reviewing that home policy right then and there with them.
Hmm. So what about when you get the question, is that safe?
Always. You're always gonna, run into people that may be a little weary because somebody tried to steal their identity. Guess what?
Hmm.
It's rampant. Now with Canopy Connect, it's really easy. We're actually SOC 2 Type 2 certified. Unlike many in the space today, if you go to Canopy Connect's website,
Hmm.
oh, can you see my screen?
I can, yes.
Awesome. Forgot to ask. If you go to Canopy Connect's website here, go to resources, click on Is Canopy Safe? And this is something you should be checking with, any vendor you're working with today. Make sure they are a SOC 2 Type 2 certified company, because if they can't produce this, things could fall back onto you later down the
Hmm.
road for
Hmm.
their lack of security. Here at Canopy Connect, we're being monitored 24/7 for monitoring and compliance. Essentially, we already work with a lot of parties outside of the insurance world. Large credit unions, banks are utilizing Canopy today to verify people have insurance for that home. In
Oh,
case there's a
wow.
house fire, they don't want to get burned. And to play on
Hmm.
those ball fields, we have to be one step further than our competition and have a SOC 2 Type 2 certification because their lawyers won't even let them take a peek at Camp Connect without having that. And then what that translates to the consumer at the end of the day is safety,
Hmm.
security. They know that, the same people that are entrusting their banking information, they're going through the same type of audits
Hmm.
24/7, just as Campy Connect. Now, reality, you want to make it so transparent at the beginning. They don't have those worries. So it really depends on how you communicate it. So if we were on the phone there, and you wanted to get a quote, Lily, I just be transparent. I'd tell you exactly how you can get a quote. I'd say, Lily, I'd love to get this quote started for you. At my
Hmm.
agency, we do things a little differently. I'm gonna send you something we call the easy button here. Of course, I had to sneeze during my pitch.
That's okay. Bless you.
Well, after I
We
sneezed.
all do it.
Uh, So essentially, Lily, I'm gonna send you the easy button here. It's gonna take you about 30 seconds. Allows you to digitally verify a ton of information you normally have to manually collect, from VIN numbers to coverages to the square footage on your home. And say you spending 30 minutes, 40 minutes collecting this stuff and getting
Hmm.
documents to me to prove prior coverage and maximize discounts for you. We can digitally verify it in about 30 seconds. Got about 30 seconds for me to get to work for you?
Hmm. So that's really taking that conversation from a 30-minute intake conversation to putting a back on the lead or that customer a little bit, but giving them that ease of use too, ease of access. You just log in here, we will collect all of those things, we'll use all of that. So you're not having to really bore them and drain them by asking all these questions they probably don't even know the answer to be honest.
Exactly. And you just spent 30, 40 minutes trying to build rapport, trying to collect information as you're writing it down to
Hmm.
then enter it into your systems. We're able to skip all that. Instead
Hmm.
of relying on information that's probably incorrect, we're probably gonna have to come back to them with a different quote later after we figure some stuff out. Or maybe we spend that 40 minutes with them and we run the MBR and they forgot to tell us some stuff. Now it's just all out the
Hmm.
window. All that rapport building, all that back
Hmm.
and forth, the voicemails, the documents. It's can be a little daunting for a
Hmm.
teammate, especially if it happens back to back. We're actually able to get their claims and incidents at the beginning of that conversation. So if they got one too many, maybe they clicked on a link from your website.
Hmm.
We know who we're working with before we even pick up the phone.
How long does it take for that information to come in? So from the point when a team member would send that lead, the link to Canopy, how long does it take to collect all of that information? And I know you touched on it earlier, but can we go a little more into what comes in? Um, and then I'll have a follow-up to that too for you.
Of course. Um, Let me actually show you what comes in.
I would love to.
I ran my own information, so I could actually show you
Okay.
what comes from a real person here. So let me share my screen here again, and we'll just go over what comes from a consumer. Let me know when you're able to see my
Let's
screen
hope you're
again.
properly insured, Casey.
I know, right? I'm gonna get called out
Oh
here.
no.
Already know, already know. So here, this is your Connect dashboard, and this is actually me. This is my name, email, phone number, address, what I'm paying. Is it active?
Mhm.
coverage dates. Maybe it's pending cancellation. Where's it
Okay.
canceled? You'll see that right here. When we click on it, you have the address here, coverages. We're even able to go to the county assessor, capture anything they have from year built, square footage, estimate cost, mortgagee information, construction type, even number of fireplaces to square footage on the garage.
Hmm.
We'll get you the auto, what they're paying, is it active, coverage dates. When we click on it, what VIN numbers, coverages here. We even expose gaps. So your team's able to go high level on that first initial phone call because they have all the data right there.
Hmm.
We'll have full breakdown of all those policies. We'll have drivers, names, dates of birth, driver's license numbers, to then driving records, claims, incidents. It sounded great over the phone. Forgot to tell you a few things. One too many water damage claims, one too many
Hmm.
accidents. You'll be able to see that stuff immediately because maybe they clicked on your link from your website. We have one of our customers here, Eastman. He has a nice little pitch, already insured, compare your rates with our providers. Prospect just clicks here. Eastman then has a nice little video introducing himself, the agency, and how easy it is to work with his agency with
That's
the
pretty
Canopy
cool.
Connect link below here to make it really, really simple for the consumer that's shopping around at 10 p.m. at night. They're able to meet you and work with you while you're sleeping. So when you wake up in the morning, you already have all the data right here. Most importantly, you're able to identify if they're a good fit for you
Hmm.
before you start spending your time and effort into this. And we're integrated with quite a few products. You're using the PL Radiator or any other raters for that matter. We're able to integrate this data right into it with, accelerated automation. They can get it essentially anywhere you could ever even dream of this data living.
We
So
try.
you see, you're
Yeah.
not limited by these names right here because with a partner like them, sky's the limit. It could just go anywhere and be completely automated with a partner like them. Below, you got the documents here going back 7 years. You have my welcome packet from 2021 and my actual declaration page and PDF file above. So you have the actual documents. So when it's a non-reporter, no worries. You already have those documents to submit to your carriers to prove prior coverage. No more back and forth for that stuff.
So you're pulling full policy information, not just a deck page, not just ID cards, high level information. We're really going into the weeds of collecting everything that we could potentially need to be able to properly quote.
Exactly. Instead of relying on what they think they got, because,
Hmm.
they got a blue BMW, can't you just get me a quote? We're able to identify everything that's under the hood on that blue BMW, especially those claims that they may have forgot to tell you about.
Hmm. Yeah, I like when you touched on that website over there because somebody can click on that and you said you can work with them. You have all that information by the time you wake up. So now we're able to properly vet our leads. Anybody who, has had the lovely experience of calling on internet leads and data leads, that works amazing for some people. So this could be that next step to qualify those or have those ready for you ahead of time, and you can make sure that this person is a good fit for my agency before our team spends half a day quoting them and chasing after them.
Exactly. Those text messengers, the Facebook messengers, the people that are emailing you, you can't get them on the phone to save your life. They click on a link,
Hmm.
and when they click on that link, you're now going to have a different voicemail that you leave. Hey Lily, thanks for, taking the time to submit your information here. I was just taking a look at your policies. Were you aware of? Did you know about? We also found something else I'd like to talk to you privately about. Can you give me a call back immediately? Now it's oh, I got to call the agency back immediately instead of you leaving these messages that never get responded to. You're able to go high level right there, and they're going to be frantic to call you back because they got to get back to the house, and hopefully there hasn't been a house fire in the meantime.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I mentioned, I know you guys work with a lot of the same agencies that we work with. We've worked with you guys for a long time and seen a lot of good success there. So, for those who might be newer to Canopy Connect and not know so much about it, how long has Canopy been around and what has kind of been your guys' path to success so far?
Of course, what's the origin of Canopy Connect?
Hmm.
How did this thing even start? Um, Essentially, our CEO was at dinner with one of his friend's mom was an insurance agent, asked him how things are going. She said things are going great. She's just super tired from driving around town. And our founder said, "Why are you driving around town? Don't you have an agency? Don't they come to your agency?" And she said, "They do come to my agency, but they don't come with what I need. And the thing
Hmm.
is, I find if I have this one piece of paper, my close ratio goes up by 60%." And he said, "Well, what is it?" She said, "It's the deck page." And he's like, "What?" He never even heard of it. We know
Hmm.
he's ever heard of a deck page. She explained to him that she would drive to their home, help them log into their carrier, print out their documents, and come back to their agency and put them into Easy Links. And he said, "This is totally madness." And
Hmm.
built a very basic version of Camp Connect about 6.5 years ago. Fast forward to now, here we are.
That's awesome. She would drive to their house and go get it. Oh my gosh.
Could you imagine? But at a 60% close ratio rise, like I'd
Yeah,
probably get in my car
that
too.
is
I'll be honest with
dedication.
you.
Good for her. So
Like,
shout out to mom.
if more clothes, more money, I'd probably go
Hmm.
start my car up right now and start head over to somebody else to help them out. And
Hmm.
last time you need to do it because they'll be with you forever. Because if they ever need to leave, somebody else have to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we've all been through those experiences where you have to ask and fight for the deck page and then they'll send it to you, but then there's redactions too. So
Exactly.
ease of use, simple click, a link, we get everything we need. It's simple for them. It's a win-win on both sides.
Exactly. Just basically it just gives them like the Amazon Prime experience. You
Yeah.
know, Makes it really simple for them to just do business with you. And that's what
Hmm.
the whole experience is all about, just making it easy. Same
Hmm.
with Netflix and all of them, just kind of the same type of experience, just with insurance now, which most people
Yeah.
dread because they don't even know what you're talking about when you ask these questions. They just have to kind of play along.
Yep. Yep. Not everybody speaks insurance language, so it's our job to speak that language and then translate in a way that can be well received. That's our job as a
Exactly.
trainer, so I totally understand.
Exactly.
What about target customers? Like, if you were to say, here is our ideal partner, our ideal agency, would it be small agencies, large agencies, captive, independent, new startups, existing, generational agencies, or maybe all of the above?
It's all the above, to be completely honest with you. We have mom and pop shop where it's just mom and pop. That's it. We also got mom and pop where they expanded. We
Hmm.
got 1,000 agents utilizing us just at their agency, and actually, mom and pop is actually a carrier owned agency. Um, so we have everybody in between, to credit unions, banks, to and other insure tech companies utilizing us to help them essentially work with everybody.
Hmm.
We just try to make it easy.
And you mentioned integrations. I know you showed that a few seconds ago. So, how does Canopy connect with different AMS systems, different raters? Obviously, we work actively with Agency Zoom. So, how are you guys working on either your current integrations, expanding integrations? What does that look like right now?
100%. And to take a look at that, let me share my screen again so I can kind of show, where you could find that information. If you go to the Use Campy website, like we were at before, if you click on products and then integrations, we'll have a full list of all of our direct integrations. We actually have new ones that literally just came out yesterday. Well, actually, yeah,
Oh,
actually
awesome.
they did come out yesterday. Quinn Street rating platform, that's a new one we just integrated with. Um, this one is supposedly the furthest ahead of all the raters, where you can actually like get to binding with this rater just by popping the info in. It's pretty nuts. So it's pretty much like almost like to the point of where they click on Camp Connect and they're able to essentially be able to be bound. So it's pretty amazing. Obviously, we connect with the PL rating and many of other products there. many of other management systems. With the PL rating, you would send it into the PL rating, and then from there, you're able to transfer that right into your AMS 360 or to your like QQ Catalyst. We also worked with, like the applied there, the Epic system. It would pre-fill the data into the rater and into the management system. Same with the easy links there. Pre-fill into both. We also work with Turbo Rater and Quote Rush and many of other products, Assembly, Hawksoft. We even build out custom integrations with Salesforce and many of others.
Yeah,
And of
I
course,
was gonna say,
Agency
let's keep
Zoom.
going through.
And of course,
I'm
Agency
like,
Zoom.
yeah, and
With
gravity
Agency Zoom,
certs too.
yep, and gravity certs. Uh, Essentially, we've been doing a lot of building over here.
Yeah, I
Uh,
see
we're
that.
we're 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 trying to get embedded into the industry. Essentially, if you look at our logo here, we're a tree. So essentially,
Hmm.
what we're trying to do is take the data and then spread it to the different systems that you use because there's too many of them and there's too much double data entry. So we're trying to be that bridge to get it to those things, and we rely on partners like you to connect the dots when there aren't, easy
Hmm.
bridges going on yet. Well, there's no API to do that yet, kind of thing.
So I was gonna ask them that. What if, whether it's somebody here today or somebody watching this later in the recording, they come to Canopy Connect and they look at the integrations page and they say, "Oh man, I wish it did this." How
If you
does that work?
scroll
Is that
down, if you go to Zapier here, if you click
Mhm.
on try Zapier, you could try typing in that product that you maybe have. Maybe you have like a Zoho or something. We don't have a direct integration, but with
Mhm.
Zapier, you can make it happen.
Mhm.
And we've made it so we originally thought we were going to be able to use Zapier to integrate with like the Raiders and stuff. So we put a
Mhm.
lot of time into Zapier. So essentially, everything from even like my deck pages to all of my information that I showed you. Let me actually scroll to the top here. I'll highlight everything in blue that we can send in Zapier. So everything that I'm highlighting in blue here is broken down field by field. This could be sent in Zapier essentially anywhere you need it to go. So with a partner like Accelerate Automation here, they could easily make this feed anywhere you could ever even dream of this getting into via different zaps and different integrations that we're able to build together.
So anything on that integration page, that's going to be a direct integration, meaning it's going to talk one to one, meaning
Exactly.
straight from Canopy to that place. But just because the software isn't on that page doesn't mean that Canopy can't talk to that system. Some may or may not be familiar with Zapier. The way I explain it is it's a middleman that can connect two systems that wouldn't otherwise talk to each other. So you're saying on the Canopy side, you guys have really built out those robust connection points in the API, which is probably foreign terminology to some. Can you explain what that means a little bit?
100%. So exactly, we've built out the integration slash APIs with the Zapier, so you can essentially do zaps to anything. So anything that's highlighted in blue here, you could zap it anywhere you need to go. Yeah, say you're using Zoho or some other type of management system that's doesn't have a direct integration with CampConnect. Through a Zap, you could make it actually customized to your agency, how you
Mhm.
want to feed in comparison to how maybe others want to feed in. You're actually able to kind of take control of the reins and build it out yourself.
Yeah, I think that's so important in today's world with so many, there's so much new tech, so much new software going out there, so much advertised. You're kind of just in the dark. Like, where do I even start? How do I even begin? So having so important to have systems that do talk to each other and connect to each other.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's great you have all the data, but what are you going to do with it? Even
Hmm.
if you're on the phone with them, you collect that data. What are you going to do with it? If your systems aren't talking to each other, it's going to be a lot of double entry going on and a lot of gaps, things getting
Hmm.
lost, missed, typos. So you got to come back and fix here. We can't we get you all the facts and we're then able to help you transfer it where you need to go.
Awesome. So we've talked about your personal account. Thank you for sharing that home, that auto. Does Canopy Connect only do personal lines?
Great question. What's its limitations? We can essentially get you anything that carrier has. We now support 220 commercial line carriers today. We're able to get anything that commercial carrier has. Just like you saw with my information, we're also able to get loss run summaries from those commercial carriers as well in PDF file instantly. Now, what about life insurance only? We can do that
Mhm.
too. We just added that about a month ago. So if they only have life with a life insurance only carrier, we can most likely capture that too for you. Obviously, if they have like State Farm or somebody, we'll most likely, or not most likely, we will 100% get those too,
Mhm.
because they're already bundled in. But the life only, we're able to get those too now.
So when somebody uses that link, lead, you say, okay, Lily, I want to quote you. You send me the link. I click on that and I log in. What does that look like from the user perspective? Do they have to log into each carrier that they have? Does it search for those? What does that look like in the process?
Yeah, how's this thing even, look to a consumer? Let me share my screen again and I'll show you. So here, this is exactly the what the consumer would see. Very customizable. It would have your agency's logo to agency's name to agency's logo, agency's name, teammate's name, because each teammate would have their own as well. These links could be sent via simple text, email, post on social media, or even embedded on your website. Prospect, they simply click here to begin. They select their carrier. We support 400 carriers today. They could scroll through the carriers here or simply just type their carrier's name right here in the search bar. Maybe they have Chubb here, the workers' comp, Bob, cybersecurity, or their high net worth. Either or, they make a simple selection. All they need is their username and password that they use with the carrier for online bill pay or managing their policies online. If they're using a password manager, it can link to the password manager. They select, hit submit here, and that's it. We're able to capture everything that carrier has going back 7 years instantly. Now, maybe it is a commercial prospect and they don't have all any account because their current agent does everything for them. How
Mhm.
does this even work for somebody like that? Very easy. If they simply have a policy number, they can click on create an account, takes them directly to Chubb's commercial client center. Four-step process here. The only thing they need is that policy number. With that policy number, we're effectively able to take that commercial agent out of the equation here. They'll create the account, come back here, hit submit, and that's it. Consumer's done. We're able to capture that data. From here, it's customizable. They can double check some stuff, add drivers if needed, and then we ask them, do you have insurance with another carrier? If so, they can click here, brings them right back to the beginning to capture information from multiple carriers for you.
Wow. So each page can be branded to each agency. So it's very customizable in that way and looks unique, like it really is, not third party. You are truly working directly with that agency because of that branding.
Exactly. Exactly. It's all about, branding here. And you're even able to make these links for people outside your agency. Maybe you got referral partners that send you hot leads. You could even, do a nice little co-branded with those real estate agents. You could put the real estate agent's name here, their headshot, real estate agent's name, and then your agency's name. So it's an easy transition from that referral partner to your agency.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit more. So, this is an area I haven't personally spent too much time in, but referral partners is a huge network, right? Big way to get success in your agency. If you have a good referral partnership network and those people are sending you leads, we need to make it easy for those referral partners as well. Not just the emails and the text messages with basic info, give them those custom links. So, can you touch on this a little bit more, what that looks like for their experience?
Of course. So let's say, we have a referral partner. How do we even get it in their hands? It
Mhm.
depends on the referral partner. If they are a real estate agent, someone that's in person, you want to use the QR code that we create for you. What our agents do is they take the QR code and they put it onto a PVC pedestal. They'll then put the real estate agent's headshot and a little pitch about their insurance agency. So the real estate agent doesn't have to remember anything because guess what? The insurance agent is at every open house. It could then have the QR code below. So then the real estate agent, they could put this PVC pedestal right there on the kitchen counter. Somebody walks through the home, they don't like that, you know, bedroom setup. They don't like how the master bath looks. Real estate agents in the backyard showing somebody else the pool. They see this as they're walking out. They don't even like the house, but their insurance went up and they couldn't get a hold of their agent. They're able to talk to you. They can scan this. They're once they scan it, brings them here. They're going to see the same face they saw as they walked in the home. They just never talked to the person because they don't like the house. They're able to submit. You're able to see it came from your real estate agent. That didn't even have to do anything because PVC pedestals right there to make it automated for you and the team.
Awesome. So then we can make those links, if I'm understanding correctly, for, let's say, a realtor or a mortgage lender. They would have a unique link that they can go to and give you, as the agency, all of the information for the lead that they're sending over.
Exactly. And you can have as many of these referral partners as you want
Hmm.
because you can have as many links as you want. So you can build these out for as many partnerships as you could think of, from real estate agent, loan officers to the local coffee shop. You're, giving a cup of Joe to anybody that gets a new quote on home and auto with you.
That's pretty cool.
So pretty much anything you think of. Around the holidays, I do see like a lot of agents build them out for like Toys for Tots or for like,
Hmm.
Meals on Wheels, stuff like that. Like, hey, anybody getting a quote from agency, I'm going to do no donation in your name kind of thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
I
See a
haven't
lot of
seen a
different
lot.
use cases for them. It's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So what kind of success cases have you seen with the agencies that you've been working with? Maybe an example of like a quick success, and then maybe a client that you've been working with on for quite a while, some of the differences that you've seen in their agency or that they have like talked to you about.
A quick success story that I didn't even have any part with is actually kind of funny. I saw someone signed up for Canopy Connect, and it was the early days when it's just me doing demos and onboarding. So I called them to see how things are going, and
Hmm.
we jump on a call just like this, and they share their screen with me, and I had them go to the submissions here, and they had just signed up 2 days earlier, and this page was filled, and I had never talked to him. Nobody else had ever talked to him.
Hmm.
I was like, "How'd you start using it?" Just out of curiosity. He said, you only actually sent the link to one person. And I said, how'd that work out? He's like, well, this person, messaged me on Facebook, messaged my agency. I sent them a link. They submitted with it. I called them, I closed them. And then I asked them, hey, if they could send me a referral, if they wouldn't mind making a Facebook post with that same link I sent them. And he explained to me that everybody, that was above this person was all just referrals from this person making that social media post saying how easy it was to work with that agent. A bunch of that person's friends just started submitting with that link. So, pretty
Wow.
amazing success stories that we found that we didn't even know were a thing. You could just
Hmm.
ask people to start posting your link on social media and their friends would start clicking on it. Because I mean,
So
that's
if
the
your
best
friends aren't
form.
sharing your links, we need better friends.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But it's
So,
just that easy. That simple click, that simple link started reaching the masses.
exactly.
That's pretty awesome. Pretty cool. What about somebody maybe who has been with Canopy, maybe a couple years or working with you longer? What kind of growth have you seen in those agencies just by using something as simple as this link for intake?
Oh, 100%. We've been working close with quite a few agencies. We've had some in particular that I've been seeing huge, huge number of growths at their agencies. To learn more about, like different like use cases and stuff, if you go to the CampCAC website here, then we find out where it was. Oh yeah, it was under products and then success stories here. We have a ton of different success stories and literally interviews with agents talking about like how they've scaled their businesses. I mean, one for example is actually the Corvette Museum. Um,
Ooh.
this is the actual museum next to where they build the Corvettes. So he insures just the most insane cars you've ever even seen. Like, and he takes them all day from different collector carriers. Um, he literally talks about in this video in the Corvette Museum how he's been able to scale his agency immensely with Camp Connect and be able to grow his team immensely, and his close ratio has gone through the roof. So much so he actually invited us out to do an offsite at his at the Corvette Museum, and we got a private tour around the Corvette Museum.
Wow. Talk about
That
a
was,
niche.
yeah, oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we have agents all over the United States. They're just in these amazing niches. And some people are like, oh, nobody, nobody over, 40 is going to click on this thing. Who is driving a brand new Corvette? Ask yourself that right now. Is not anybody under 40. So it's just like this guy's clientele, they're all 65 and up.
Hmm.
He just sends them a link. That's the only way you can do business with
Hmm.
them. And
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to that simplicity factor of having that link. You know, millennials, younger generation, we're used to instant satisfaction. We need something quick, we need something easy, we need a fast response. And then we're getting out of those times of printing those paper deck pages, emailing them over. So if we can even simplify that across the board for any consumer, you're doing yourself a favor across all aspects for the agency and to your team too.
exactly. And people are worried about, like high net worth individuals. You think the guy that's, is insuring his Ferrari with him, you think he likes to do things, the old school way, the lawyer, the doctor,
Hmm.
they're they're using technology in their offices today. Of course, they want the easy button. They want to
Hmm.
work with you as easy as possible because they do the same thing for their patients coming in and out, their clients
Yeah,
coming out. Same thing. They're using technology just like y'all.
yeah. Okay, so we've talked about how to get these links out to leads. We've talked about what we can gather, which is a lot of important, valuable data. Make it easy on the lead, make it easy on us. Now, let's talk about when the team starts using Canopy. So I'll have you share your screen again. What does that look like for an agency owner or a team member who is going to start working these? What kind of reporting is available and those kind of analytics in the system? So it's kind of a multiple part question there, but what does that user experience look like for the team first?
Oh yeah, of course. What can they, see in the dashboard? They just come in the dashboard here, go to home. They can see, month over month submissions that they're, submitting. They're also able to see premium one month over month with Camp Connect. They can set a goal of how many submissions they're trying to hit within a certain amount of days. Under submissions here, we can even track and see the conversions from those different links. Maybe we want to see, how's, the real estate agent doing? We could select that link and we're able to see what kind of conversions rates we're getting month over month with that, different link. We're even able to track, how much premium we're winning off of these. When we click the little one here, we can easily put in, how much premium we did win off of that policy there. And then that will translate right back to the homepage here. So you're able to understand, kind of your analytics there a little bit more. And then for using it, it's really easy. You don't even need to be in the Connect dashboard. Reality, you only need to come here when you get data. So you just need the link. You just click on the copy button here. You'll have it. You just put that in your agency Zoom, in whatever system you're sending, communications to a consumer,
Mhm.
or simply as a template it's somewhere, and you're able to send it out anywhere instantly without having to be on the Camp Connect. And with your QR code there, you can put that on business cards, flyers, even the back of your cell phone case to have people scan it.
Awesome. And when that link is used and sent out, is the agency able to customize what questions are asked?
Of course, very, very customizable. So the link I showed you before, that one's the most direct. Now we can make it however you want. This one's built out with the custom forms. We could even ask a question in the beginning. Do you currently have insurance? We can digitally verify the coverage with your current carrier in seconds. Simply click the yes button. Drops them right in that same experience you saw before. But what
Mhm.
about the other folks? If you do not have current insurance, or if you prefer to type in this basic info for agent or reach out, click the no button. Drops them right into a smart form. These are very customizable. Essentially, it can be whatever you want. Depending
Mhm.
on what they select prior, different questions can pop up down the road. Here we can capture drivers from demographic information as well for those drivers to the vehicles, your make, model, or by VIN number, to any custom question you can think of. How many miles you drive in that vehicle? Maybe they don't even know any special policy we're doing Uber Eats, to the address. And by just capturing the address, we can go to the county assessor and get anything they have available. We ask them how old the roof is. Maybe you need pictures of the home, pictures of the warehouse, proof of wind and hail mitigation. We could ask for any documents here. So very, very customizable. And you can also build that into the traditional experience. So if they select carrier, pop in that username and password, hit submit here. We can also customize it here. They can either be done, or we could pre-fill information from their current carrier. Maybe the phone number is incorrect and they clicked on the link for their website. They could update that here to pre-filling dates of birth and driver's license. They can double check that too, to any custom question you can think of. We help you build all this stuff out, but at the end of the day, the agent has the keys to the castle. They can come here, make any changes they want anytime they want.
Okay, so you would help them get everything set up initially with, the questions they have in mind. And then after that, would they be able to manage that from their dashboard and from their login as well, and then reach out to you for support if needed?
Exactly. They can do it right here in the dashboard under your links and flows. They can build it as many different experiences, make changes to these anytime they want, right
Okay.
here from the dashboard. But we do offer free onboarding, free setup, free support, unlimited, because we're a monthly product. If we don't provide you, strong return on investment, it's not going to work
Hmm.
out for us.
Yeah, very true. Awesome. I love that those are so customizable because we can do some short ones, maybe some more detailed ones, but hopefully we're just using those links and just getting all of that public data and getting it all in one place and making sure it's right.
Exactly. Yeah. So we don't even have to mess around with the questions because we got everything from the carrier. We have
Yeah.
everything they had up to 2 seconds ago because they added a new vehicle, and you have that new vehicle because you have the updated policy.
Hmm. All right. Well, I think it's about time for that moment we've all been waiting for. So, what is happening in 2026? What updates? What changes? You talked about some new pricing structure. So, what can we look forward to for the next year?
There's a lot of stuff coming for next year. The most, you know, recent that's hot off the press is pricing. If you go to our website here, use canopy.com, click on pricing. It's not updated yet. If you look at the pricing here, we go by policy points. So let's just look at the Elevate here. You get 100 policy points, 5 users included. If you need more users, they're $15 a user. Now, how the policy points work is one personalized mission is one policy point. So say if they have everything with State Farm, 20, 30 policies, doesn't matter. It's per carrier. If they just have State Farm, that's just one personalized mission, one policy point. So you can use it with up to 100 personalized prospects. Now, this is where it gets confusing, and this is where we're changing things, is commercial. Commercial, it is actually 5 policy points. So if they have, let's say, Travelers, Hartford, and Chubb, that is 3 carriers. That is 15 policy points. It gets a little expensive.
Hmm.
I got some good news. We're changing the pricing there. Instead of it being 5, it's just going to be 2. So
Okay.
now if they got those 3 carriers, Chubb, Hartford, and Travelers, it is now just 6 policy points. Much more affordable for the agent as we have grown immensely on the
Hmm.
team. And with those 2 new teammates, we've been able to drive down the cost on the commercial integrations, which were a real huge nightmare. And it's much smoother now and much more affordable for us. So we're able to pass that savings along to the agents. Now, it isn't on the website yet, but it is live. So if you're using Canopy Connect, you just got a little early Christmas present from Canopy Connect because we dropped the price there. Um, Unlike some where they're raising the price.
Yeah, I was
Um,
gonna say, I don't think we see many companies, especially in tech, that are decreasing the pricing to bring in, more attention and more customers to use this, because I think this is so helpful. So earlier we talked about, who is this a good fit for? Small agencies, big agencies. So I think that'll help you out a lot, reach some of those startups coming in. That's very
exactly.
exciting.
Exactly. Because we come to find a lot of the commercial only, it was just really cost inhibited and we just couldn't do anything. There's just nothing
Yeah.
we could do about it. Now we're finally at a place we can. So we're really excited to unveil that for everybody. And then just
There
like you
you go,
said,
commercial agencies and
yep,
producers. Congratulations. Merry Christmas. Call cases.
exactly. Exactly. Happy New Year to you.
That's awesome, especially, those agencies that are trying to tap into commercial.
Exactly. It's such a lucrative market,
Hmm.
needless to say.
Yeah.
Um, but
I,
it's hard to get broken into because you just don't know how to write that policy exactly. And that's where
hmm
Kent comes into play. If you're a new commercial agent, we make it like shooting fish in a barrel because you already wrote a personalized prospect. And what did you do? You looked at how it was previously written and you made it
hmm
better. With Camp Connect, you're able to see how it was previously written, and all you need to do is just make it better, just like you do on your personal line side already. So you're able to bridge into that commercial world much differently than other agents that are just trying to get commercial. Because the biggest thing about commercial is the E&O risk. Because if you write
hmm
that policy not as good as they had it before, that's when you're opening yourself up to a lot of risk. And if you don't have proof or documentation that's, proving that the consumer chose to go with, those lower premiums, lower coverages because they wanted to, not because they thought it was better coverage, you could be in a world of hurt. Here with Camp Yank, you're able to prove that ever happened. You wrote the policy better because you have the previous policy. If something would happen with that previous policy, they would be hung out to dry. Here, they have something to hold on to.
hmm Yeah, yeah, super important to protect yourself as well. So policy points are changing, pricing structures changing. What else is coming?
Just a lot more integrations, speed. As you saw here, we literally just did, if we go to products and integrations, we literally just released these two yesterday.
Hmm.
So we even got more, coming down the pipeline. So there's even gonna be more integrations, more products coming out with Camp Connect um, as we go here.
All right, so stay up to date on the integration page on Canopy's website.
Yep. And
Awesome.
with that, I appreciate you, taking the time to have me on the call here.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you so much. We
course.
appreciate, the partnership we have with y'all. It's been fabulous since day one.
Yeah, no, you guys have always been great to work with and taking care of the customers. Being in training, I see a lot of success with new and seasoned producers in the agencies. I always know when a Canopy Connect lead is coming into agency Zoom, and it makes the process so much easier to work through a pipeline, to work through the quoting process. I personally have seen increase in close ratios just by using something like this. Once we have that structure and organization, we just, kind of work on the flow from there. So in training, when they have everything in one place, that has been such a useful tool, especially with new team members coming into this industry. Not many of us grew up wanting to be in insurance. Some of us did, some of us didn't. And it's uncharted territory sometimes. So having that ease of use is so important for that early success.
Exactly.
So if anybody wants to reach you, wants to book a demo, wants to ask more questions, they can go to canopyconnect.com. Is there a demo link on there? I forgot to have you share that. How
Ooh,
can they reach you to learn more?
great question. I had that pulled up, but don't have it. Give me 1 second. Let me just grab my contact info and I'll drop it right in the chat here for everybody.
Perfect. And those that are joining the meeting today, if you guys have questions, I'd like to open the floor. If you have anything you would like to chat in, absolutely feel free, and we can take those. And Casey would love to answer some questions from you guys.
Of course. For some reason it will only let me send it to host and panelist. I'll drop it in there for you there, Lily, and hopefully you can then share it with everybody.
Yeah. Is there a link on your website?
Oh, I just dropped it in the Zoom chat.
Perfect.
Now I'll have my personal booking link, my email, and then my phone number if they want to call me.
Okay.
And if anybody is interested in testing this thing out, give me a call, shoot me an email. I'll add a bunch of extra days to your free trial and I'll walk you through setup, make sure you get, you know, handheld to this thing so we get you successful. All included. No extra charge
Yeah.
for any of that stuff. So just let me know. I hook you up.
Awesome. So reach out to Casey at 707-812-8912. And his email is casey@usecanopy.com.
Awesome.
I don't see
Appreciate
any
y'all.
questions in the chat, but thank you so much for being here today, demoing, talking things through. I'm really excited for these updates.
Same here. Appreciate you having us on. And Merry Christmas, y'all, and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Bye, everyone.
See y'all.